What's up, Mizzou fans? Welcome in to the Bruning Law Firm Hour of Misery. Frankly, hopefully not an hour. I don't have the energy or the probably the patience for it. I'm gonna do my best not to get in fights with anybody. Let's all get along here and see how it goes. Missouri loses 80-64 to Oklahoma. It started terribly. Went well for about 60 seconds. Then pretty much sucked the rest of the way. There was like a little brief 3-minute period in the second half where it was like, hey, they could maybe only lose by single digits, but then they didn't. And 80-64, Missouri loses. Bad from the start, worst performance since bragging rights. We'll get into all of it before we do. Want to shout out our friends at the Bruning Law Firm before we get started. You can reach the folks at the Bruning Law Firm at 573-400-2796. That is 573-400-2796. You can also scan that QR code up over my shoulder. It'll take you to their website. It's the fastest growing personal injury law firm in the state of Missouri. Some of you guys might have done some harm to things tonight. Hopefully not yourself. Hopefully not other people. I don't know if they can handle a case where you broke your TV or your remote or your radio, but whatever the case, if you need legal help, 573-400-2796 for a free consultation. I'm just going to give you my little spiel right off the top, and then we will let you guys vent. Voicemail, comments, whatever. Drew King will join us. We'll kind of wrap this one up, but I don't expect it to be super long. The problem with these shows is we schedule them in advance because it helps me and Drew out, and sometimes you schedule one after just an absolute nightmare of a game, and this is how it's going to go. This, like I said, was the worst performance Missouri's had since bragging rights. So it was worse than LSU. It was worse than Ole Miss. Literally 2 minutes into the game, the announcers were saying Missouri came out flat and didn't look good. And they're just like, there was never a fix. Just dropping the ball, out of control drives, bad shooting, bad defense. And Show Me Prodigy points out the play, and I wrote about this in Instant Reaction. Missouri went into halftime down 9, and as bad as they'd been, I thought they might still figure it out. Like, they need to start the second half well, but they might figure it out. Well, they didn't start the second half particularly well. Then about 16 and a half minutes left, Oklahoma missed a shot, and Tio Barrett goes under the basket, grabs the rebound as he's going out of bounds, and saves it back in bounds. And 3 Missouri players, I know 2 of them were Trent Pierce and Anthony Robinson. I'm not sure who the third one was. They just watched the ball roll. Like, they just watched it. And eventually, an Oklahoma player dives on the floor, knocks it off Robinson out of bounds. Oklahoma gets the ball back. I don't even know if Oklahoma scored on the ensuing possession, but it didn't matter. It was just indicative of a team that just didn't have it tonight. Mark Mitchell was 6 of 6 from the floor. He scored 17 points. I guess he was Missouri's best player. Well, he was Missouri's best player, but he had 4 turnovers. Like, Mark played probably below average for what you expect out of him. The problem was everybody else was worse than that. Like, Ant Robinson had 14 points on 5 of 7 shooting. I don't care. He wasn't good. Tio Barrett was awful. 5 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, somehow only 2 turnovers. But, I mean, just driving to nowhere. That looked like a kid playing in his home state trying to put on a show, and he didn't. Trent Pierce, 3 for 7 from 3 for 11 points, but he had done nothing at halftime. Sean Phillips Jr., no factor other than a flagrant foul, do I think it was a flagrant foul? I don't. But Sean Phillips has a reputation. You're going to get called for it. Jaden Stone, look, guys, it's time to maybe be a little bit concerned that Jaden Stone's hit the wall. This is 3 or 4 in a row where he just hasn't had it. 1 for 7 from 3, 4 for 14 from the floor. Again, 2 minutes into the game, the announcers were saying Jaden Stone looks all out of sorts. Like, I'm willing to largely write this one off as a really bad night, But Jaden Stone, I do think it's fair now to be a little bit concerned. Like, you need something out of him going forward. Trent Burns went back to kind of what he was before Mississippi State, where he wasn't awful. Like, he didn't lose them the game, but he also didn't do anything to really help. 1 for 4 from the field. Like, you can't rely on him to score. The Mississippi State game was an outlier. He just didn't do a lot. At 19 minutes, he had 3 rebounds. I mean, if you're 7-5, that probably shouldn't happen. Of course, Oklahoma didn't miss many shots, so there weren't many chances. And then Jacob Cruz, I mean, he's the 8th guy in an 8-man rotation and fading. If he can't make shots, I don't know what there is. And, we thought they had an 8-man rotation. I'm not sure it's 8 right now because I don't know about Cruz. Previous comments said just no effort. And look, I won't say no effort. There wasn't much energy. I won't say that they weren't trying. I assume they want to win. I don't like to now if Dennis Gates says after the game, hey, the effort wasn't any good, cool. That's up to him. We'll see what he says. He never says that, so he's not going to say it. But that's not a judgment I feel qualified to make watching the worst broadcast in television history since the last game that the SEC broadcast. So I'm not going to say they didn't try, but there was no energy. There was no execution. Oklahoma was just better. I mean, like, if you watched that game, at 4 of the 5 positions on the floor at almost all times, you thought Oklahoma was the NCAA tournament team and Missouri was the one that was just trying to make some last-ditch effort to sort of get on the bubble. Because all this talk about OU in the tournament, come on, guys. They're 16-14. They're 6-11 in the SEC. Like, they're not a terrible team. They're like 4 plays away from being what Missouri is. I mean, they've blown so many leads late in games. They're not a bad team. That's not what I'm saying. But they've blown all those games, and I can't see it. We got to stop talking about them in the tournament. If they're in the tournament, if they have a chance at the tournament, then Missouri's in. So let's address that part of it. I still think Missouri is a tournament team. And I don't really think they have to win another game to be there. Now, tonight was super ugly and might hurt you enough that if you get beat by Arkansas, like, you probably better go down to Nashville and win that first game, whoever it might be. Believe it or not, no matter what happens tonight, tomorrow morning, Missouri will still be the 5 seed in the SEC tournament. Because they absolutely, they own the tiebreaker over everybody. The only team that passed them tonight is Tennessee. Tennessee's the 4 seed right now. Missouri would be the 5. I know that's not going to make you guys feel better. But like, this league is just after the top 2 teams, maybe top 3 if you want to put Arkansas in that group, but it is just a group of like 11 teams that can beat anybody else on any given night. If you play South Carolina, if you play LSU right now, you're probably getting a win. Other than that, Kentucky got blown out tonight at Texas A&M. Alabama actually lost to Georgia. So Georgia's locked. They're in. But this league just has a whole bunch of teams that on any given night. What we saw tonight was the floor for Missouri. And I think it was a reminder for fans that 2 days ago, everybody was talking about this is his best team. This team can make a run. How do we want the seeding set up so we can make the Sweet 16? And now it's back to they're awful and Gates can't win a game and they don't know what they're doing. And I get it, guys. I mean, I don't get it. I don't know why I said I get it. I really don't. Like, it's my job, I say all the time, to tell you it's not as good as you think it is. It's not as bad as you think it is. It's not as good as it felt after Saturday. It's not as bad as it feels tonight. They will play better on Saturday against Arkansas. Will they win? I don't know. It would do wonders. But I just ran through the whole roster and everybody played worse than normal. Like, I can't make this all about Dennis Gates. Like, I don't, you could say they weren't ready to play. And yes, that's on the coach. But at some point, I mean, look at the stats. Billy, if you can put the box score back up. Missouri shot 47% for the game, but in the first half, they shot 40. They were 1 for 9 from 3-point range and 5 for 9 from the free throw line. Oklahoma, meanwhile, shot 62%. I mean, Oklahoma was just better in every single fashion. Oklahoma had more rebounds. Hey, how about this? Turnovers. Missouri had 16, Oklahoma had 15. That's fairly even. Off of the 16 Missouri turnovers, Oklahoma scored 25 points. Off the 15 Oklahoma turnovers, Missouri scored 13. That's 12 points. They lost by 16. Oh, by the way, also went 8 for 16 at the free throw line, gave up 4 points. There's your 16 points. I mean, they just played terribly. I don't really know. There's not a whole lot more explanation. If you want to make it this, oh my God, this only happens to Missouri, I can't do it. And here's my frustration tonight, guys. It's twofold. My phone and my Twitter feed were blowing up in the first half from people that I legitimately had not heard from for a month. And if you're just waiting for the bad stuff and that's the only time you want to talk about it, like, I can't do it. That's an awful way to be a fan. Like, you're welcome to do it. I'm not saying it's awful in that, like, you're not a good fan. I'm just saying it's awful in that it seems like a miserable existence. Enjoy the wins. The losses suck. Like, tonight was awful. But if you've just been waiting for a month to comment until you saw a game like this, like, I can't do it. I'm not. This is not therapy. You guys can use it as therapy. I'm just not going to engage. That's what I'm saying. So that's my main thing. Is just vent, get it out. That's fine. I understand what you're going to do. We'll put the comments on the board. We'll listen to some of the voicemails, our message board. I'm going to just let everybody say what they want to say tonight. It's a bad night. This is one you simply move on. You just say, this sucked. I don't think you spend 1 minute really diagnosing it. I think you say we play again in 4 days and we need to be a whole lot better than that. Because if you thought this team had just figured it out and was going to run the table, like, that's not. This is a decent team, average, little above average. We said all year there's a reason they're on the bubble. There's a reason they're a 7, 8, 9, 10 seed, somewhere in that range. I think 7's probably off the table now. I think that probably required 2-0 this week. But, like, when you're an 8, 9, 10 seed, this can happen to you. It doesn't happen to Duke. It doesn't happen to Connecticut. It doesn't happen to Michigan or Arizona. But that's not what this team is. It happens to a lot of other teams. It happened to Kentucky tonight. It even happened to Alabama. I don't know. Vandy right now is leading by 1 at Ole Miss, but, like, it's happened to Vandy a couple times. Vandy lost to this Oklahoma team at home and looked really bad for about 35 minutes before making a furious comeback. My point is, it sucks when it happens to your team, but it happens to most teams. If it doesn't happen to you, you're not worried about making the tournament. You're worried about being a 1 or a 2 seed, because that's about the only teams this doesn't happen to. So there's my shtick. We'll get to some of your questions. Billy, let's hit the voicemail for a minute just to give my voice a break.
I am so sick of Jacob Cruz being on my basketball team. Guy does not make our team better in a single facet. Can't play offense, lost on defense, can't close out. Maybe he's out there to shoot free throws. Nope, 1 or 2 from the line. He's just out there running cardio tonight, and calling it that might be disrespectful to runners. He's waiting to go back and play St. Vincent's School of Bad Basketball Players so he can pad his stats and not look as terrible as he is in the end of the year final totals. At least when Sebastian Mack was out there being bad at basketball, he looked apologetic. Jacob Cruz got a smug little face out there just stinking it up left and right. I don't know if Dennis has a soft spot for him because they're both fathers. Mike Gundy can't even be mad at me for this because Jacob Cruz is a grown-ass man, so I can come at him and tell him that he stinks. Get off my team.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, Cruz is the 8th man in an 8-man rotation, and he has not been good for a while now. And we've talked, like, against this level of competition, he's a guy that you want to make a couple shots a game. Maybe a couple shots a half. When he's not doing that, like, I mean, look, you can, wish and hope for Jacob Cruz to be a great defender, but we've seen it. I mean, he's 24, 25 years old. He's been here 2 years. It's not going to happen. He needs to make shots. I do want to put this comment up real quick. Hinky2 Raw says the chat is pretty calm. Don't know why Gabe's mad. I'm not mad at the chat. Guys, I can't even read the comments during the show for the most part. Like, there's too many of them. This is not about what comments might be in the chat. This is about being online during this game and texts I'm getting during this game. It is absolutely an exhausting experience. That's all I'm going to say. Just got a text from Drew King. Post game's over. He's going to jump on pretty soon. Billy, let's hit a couple of the questions from the chat if we can. I know you've got a few messages starred, and let's get a couple of those up there, and then we'll go to the voicemail. Michael Brindlinger says, "Do we not have an adjustment for when the defense packs the paint?" So I thought there were a couple problems tonight. I mean, the adjustment is make some shots. And Missouri just did. They were 1 for 9 in the first half from 3, 7 for 15 in the second half, but it didn't matter by then almost. I mean, like, Jaden Stone couldn't make anything. Trent Pierce, I think, was 0 for 2 or 0 for 3 in the first half. Jacob Cruz missed a couple. I mean, they just weren't making shots. And I think the other problem was I have not seen a game. I tweeted this at one point in the second half where so many guys just dropped the ball. I mean, Mark had 4 turnovers. Sean Phillips had 4 turnovers. Stone had 3. Barrett, again, somehow only 2. It seemed like more than that to me. But they just couldn't hold on to the ball. They were giving up so many possessions. I mean, Oklahoma begged Missouri to have a chance in that game. Oklahoma was not much better in the first half than Missouri. In fact, in the first 16 minutes, Oklahoma wasn't any better at all. Like, that was a 4-point game. And then Missouri hit a stretch where it was just so bad, and Oklahoma finally made a couple shots. That was the difference. Oklahoma finally made a couple shots, and Missouri never did until it didn't matter. I mean, you cut it from like 22 to 12. I don't really care at that point. So the adjustment is make shots and hold on to the ball. And Missouri didn't do that tonight. If they don't respect what you're doing from outside, we saw this in football, right? I mean, eventually the good teams just said, well, they're not going to throw it over our heads. We're just going to stand here at the line of scrimmage and make Ahmad Hardy beat 10 guys. And against the better teams, that was really tough for him to do. Mark Mitchell cannot go 1-on-3 against good teams, or even, like, there have to be other guys. And most of this run has been Mitchell's been good every night, and either Stone or Barrett has been good most nights. And then they've gotten something from somebody else, whether it's Robinson or Phillips or Burns or Pierce, whatever. Well, tonight Mitchell was okay, and Barrett and Stone were awful. And there was nobody else to make up for it. Drew King in Norman, Oklahoma, looking very sharp, as usual. Drew, was it like better in person somehow? I said it was the worst game since bragging rights.
I don't know. The Alabama game was pretty rough too.
Yeah, but Alabama's at least like good. Oklahoma's okay.
Illinois is good too, but
right, yeah, sure. Not 43 points good.
No, you mentioned I look nice. I really think it's the suit's fault, Gabe. I don't know what my record is wearing the suits to games, but I don't think it's very good. So this might be the last time I wear a suit. It gets too hot in the arena. I just had to walk like a mile upstairs to get here. It's rough out here. I forgot a drink too in the media room. I'm not going back down for that. Like, I'm out of breath. I'm sweating. It's rough.
You've got to adopt the hobo look like I do for games, and maybe that'll go better. Like I don't care if you cover the game in gym shorts and a t-shirt. It's fine.
I mean, I wore a hoodie to the South Carolina game because that was what I brought with me on accident, and that ended up being their best road win of the season at the time. So I think I also didn't wear a suit to the A&M game, maybe. So like I'm seeing a correlation here. So hands up, my fault, mea culpa on this one.
What did Gates say afterwards? I mean, I don't know what there is to say, but what did he say?
Yeah, I think he said that they just made like way too many mistakes. The turnovers killed them, took them out of their rhythm on offense. And then I asked him, like, why wasn't the rebounding more of a factor tonight? And he was like, well, Oklahoma was making shots. There weren't a lot of rebounds to be had, which was fair. So, yeah, I think it was just kind of an off night for everybody. Talking to Mark Mitchell afterward, he said it felt like they got a little disheartened when shots weren't going in early. And yeah, I thought Oklahoma playing on senior night just had a lot more effort than Mizzou. And Dennis Gates said we didn't get to any 50-50 balls. And that definitely hurt the team for sure.
I said Mark was average-ish and everybody else was terrible. Like nobody else played well on this team.
Yeah,
and even Mark didn't play well. Mark played okay.
Yeah, Mark had he had 3 turnovers, which was the team high when he committed. Oh, he had 4, even worse. Yeah. So, yeah, like that really hurt the team. He wasn't super aggressive, but Oklahoma was really packing in the paint and forcing Mizzou to kind of settle for looks from outside. And it just took too long for them to get going. Like they made they made 4 after they got down by like 22, but before that they were only like 4 of 17 from the 3-point line. And so, yeah, just never made Oklahoma pay for sagging off. And on the flip side, like Oklahoma made Mizzou pay every time they sagged off. And they just never recovered from that, I thought.
All right, let's run through individually. Let's start with Jaden Stone because you mentioned it to me during the game, and I said it at the beginning of the show. It is fair to wonder if he's hitting a wall. Like tonight was just a bad night, but this is 3 or 4 in a row where you haven't gotten a lot out of him.
Yeah, and Jaden's talked about how like this is his first time going through a high major conference slate. And he's never been in the hunt for a March Madness seed before. So this is all new to him. And I think that can be a lot to go through when, things aren't going your way per se. And so the main thing is they have to keep it from spiraling. And right now it does seem like Jaden's starting to lose a little bit of confidence. Like I think one of his first touches in the game, it looked like he had an open 3-pointer, and instead of pulling up for it, he pump fakes. The guy doesn't jump, and then he has to pass it off, and Mizzou gets a bad shot out of it instead. And so they just need him to find his rhythm again. I don't know that he's you have to have Jaden Stone play well for them to do anything in the postseason, right? So I'm not throwing in the towel on Jaden Stone by any means, but yeah, they absolutely need better play out of him.
Here is my concern with what will end this season, and this is not new from me, but when Tio Barrett's good, he's really good. But when he's bad, he is, oh my God, I'm not even going to give my team a chance back. I mean, there is I haven't seen him have like a 10.3 assist, 2 turnover, just kind of he was there night. It is either he is Missouri's best or second best player in scoring all the time, or he is like shooting their chances to win in the face. And I thought that's what happened tonight. And I brought up the theory, Oklahoma kid, looked like a kid who maybe went home and wanted to put on a show and just didn't have it.
Yeah, I think that is a reasonable take. And yeah, like I think you get performances out of that from young guards a lot, right? But with Tio Barrett, especially where Like his specialty is driving downhill and putting his shoulder and running you over and making Porter Moser pick up a technical because you bulldozed Dayton Forsyth on the way to the rim. Yeah, like you're more susceptible to losing the ball. You're more susceptible to missing layups at the rim because you picked up too much steam on your way to the glass. So, yeah, not a lot went right for Tio tonight, I don't think.
This was the first time we saw bad Sean Phillips and just kind of nothing Trent Burns on the same night. That's a problem. That happens again, like your season's gonna be over.
Yeah, and like again, Mizzou had a 19-3 advantage in second chance points the first time that these two teams played. Tonight it was 8-0. So a lot less of an edge there.
Wait, Oklahoma had no second chance points?
That's wild. Correct. They did have 7 offensive rebounds though. But yeah, again, I thought neither guy played particularly well. I know everyone is probably jumping in my mentions talking about the flagrant foul. I get it. But yeah,
look, I will say it was a bad call. It didn't change the game. It was a bad call. That isn't like here's my rant about college. I don't know why college basketball has replay. It doesn't work. They don't get the calls right. Like, why are we wasting time? You still don't get the calls right. Just call whatever you want initially.
Basically, yeah, I think that's fair. And like the foul that Dennis Gates used his challenge on, like Xavier Brown very clearly had the hook and hold on Sean on that play. I'm
pretty
far away from the floor though.
Like, I didn't think it was really a hook and hold. He got his arm around for half a second, but I didn't think it was a hook and hold. But I also don't think Sean Phillips fouled him. Like, I thought that should have just been nothing on anyone.
Right. Well, and then like they fouled him because like they were standing there and Sean had his arm caught in Xavier Brown's elbow. And yeah, the challenge was unsuccessful. I didn't get it. So I'm with you, Gabe. Like
officiating was bad. There's no question.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, we've kind of gone through the individuals. Billy, let's throw the super chats up real quick because we always like to do that for the people. Just win. Good theory. I feel like they tanked for seeding. We've talked about they don't want to be on the 9 line. Maybe they're trying to be a 10. Now, you know what? If you'd actually won tonight and won Saturday, you could have been a 7. And I feel like that's probably kind of out of the picture now.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you go and win the SEC title and can get to a 7 seed, but other than that, like I don't know that they can do enough at this point.
I feel like tonight was a reminder of like realistic hopes for this team in the NCAA tournament. To me, is win a game and then just go take your shot against somebody in round 2. Like nothing this team has done all year tells me they're consistent enough to win 3 or 4 in a row in Nashville or 3 or 4 in a row in March. They just. There's no evidence of it.
They are consistently inconsistent. And it was kind of what I was trying to touch on last night, Gabe, was like, we just haven't seen this team string together more than 3 good games in a row. And tonight proved that again, unfortunately for them.
Do you have any concern this was so bad that like the tournament hopes are in danger?
No, I mean, one thing that the team has done really well all year long is bounce back from losses like this. And so I think that you're going to see a much better effort against Arkansas on senior night. And even if they end up dropping that game, like I think that you're going to get a decent draw in the SEC tournament. I'm pretty sure you said like, they're still 5th. They're still 5th seed.
As of tomorrow morning, they will be the 5 seed. Like if they beat Arkansas, I think they will be the 5 seed, which would mean you're playing like the winner of the 12-13 game. If you beat Arkansas, this isn't a conversation. But tonight was ugly. If you lose to Arkansas, I still think they're in without another win. But man, you don't want that last impression to be a loss to Ole Miss or LSU. That. Tonight was bad enough that if that happens, I don't think they'd get left out, but they really wouldn't have anybody to blame if they did.
Yeah. Well, and I'll say this too, Gabe. Like, Oklahoma came out with all of the urgency. Like, I was sat in on Nigel Pack and Jadon Jones's press conference. Like, they really wanted to go out with a bang at home on senior night. And like, deep down, they feel like that there's a shot that they can make the NCAA tournament if they go on a run here. Yeah. Like, they're playing their best basketball of the season. Mizzou came in here and kind of rolled out of bed and expected to just be fine. I felt like I don't expect that moving forward from them.
Here's my issue with saying that OU came out with urgency. Like, that was a 4-point game with 8 minutes left in the first half. OU was as bad as Missouri was for the first. Like, they weren't really doing anything either. They were turning the ball over, and then finally just OU actually started to make some shots, and Missouri just refused to ever do anything. But like, even at halftime down 9, I kind of felt like, I don't know, if you can just score a couple buckets early in the first half, like, you're in a 5-point game and you should feel like you have a chance, but Missouri just never did anything.
Yeah, and
I didn't feel like Oklahoma came out and took it from them. I felt like this was more about Missouri being bad than Oklahoma being good.
Okay, they shot 12 for 22 from 3, and they shot 13 for 19 against Auburn. Like, I think this is a team that's trying to go out and take it from teams.
That's fair. I don't know. The first, at halftime, Oklahoma had 9 turnovers and Missouri had 5 points off of them. Like,
yeah,
Oklahoma gave Missouri chances. Missouri just wasn't capable of doing
it. Actually, you know what? Like, on top of that, this was not right. I mean, I think it was Oklahoma's one of their best defensive games of the season. Like, I think that's the best defense I've seen them play from the few games that I've seen.
But, and again, though, like, the difference is Oklahoma, like you said, made Missouri pay. They made open threes. Missouri just didn't. Like, they missed open shots. Todd Hartstein, appreciate the super chat. If you could put Freeway Jared's back up, having a game where you get punched in the mouth and humbled right before the postseason can be a good thing. It can. I think this team, they don't need a win against Arkansas necessarily, but they need a good effort. Like, you don't want to go into the postseason with back-to-back just lemons.
Yeah, I agree. By the way, Freeway
and I think
Jared,
they'll get a good effort.
Did you see the clips that he put on Twitter?
I didn't hit play, but yeah, I think it's going to be a struggle for you.
Yeah, that's got me nervous, actually.
Yeah. So I don't know. This one, to me, you just throw it away. And I don't spend a lot of time on this one.
No, I think that's the right call. I expect them to just flush it, move on to Arkansas. It was definitely the worst we've seen them play since the Alabama game. And we know that they're capable of better than that. So I think that's what they've got to show.
I mean, I think I texted you during the game, take away Florida and maybe Alabama, and this league's just a big pile of average that on any given night, like, there's
not Alabama, Gabe.
Not Alabama tonight, I know. But like, there's a reason that Florida's the only team in the top 3 seeds on a 1, 2, or 3 line in this league. Like, on any given night, the rest of this league is capable of doing what Oklahoma did tonight and is also capable of doing what Missouri did tonight.
Yep. Vandy's down 6 to Ole Miss in the second half right now.
Kentucky no-showed in College Station.
Yep. Like, it is a weird league this year. Yep. And I've been saying for weeks now, though, like, Oklahoma's a team that's better than its record. Like, they've been playing.
I mean, we talked about it a lot. Like, I don't think it shocked me how bad Missouri looked today. It did not shock me that they lost.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's just life on the road too. Like, you don't always have your A game.
They did go 4-5 on the road in the SEC this year. That's not that bad. Now, it is disappointing that like 3 of those losses were to teams that you you probably shouldn't lose to, but whatever. All right, let's hit a couple of voicemails and then we'll let Drew go right, and I'll listen to the rest of the group therapy session after he leaves.
$55,000 a year. Hopefully going to get bumped up to $57,000 a year here in a few months.
Congrats.
But regardless, we'll still be driving that 2017 Honda Civic. Just recording this at halftime. They're down 9. Doesn't look great. Maybe they come back and win. Who knows? That's not the point of this call. I'm just doing this as a preemptive get out in front of the dummies that are coming out of the woodwork with their pitchforks that we haven't heard from over the last month, saying this is why Gates is a bad coach, yada, yada, yada. These back-to-back road games against Mississippi State and Oklahoma, sure, neither team they're playing is very good, but it's difficult to win on the road. They're 3-point dogs tonight. They were a very, very short favorite on Saturday. 1-1 in those two games is a completely acceptable result. Is it a missed opportunity to not win tonight? Sure. But regardless, not every game needs to be an indictment of Gates. I know this will. But yeah, maybe they come back and win, and this sounds hilarious on the postgame show, but just want to get out in front of the Looney Tunes crowd with their pitchforks. MIZ.
Well, that was obviously a wrong number. That was entirely too rational for our show. So let's move on to the next one.
James, 27, 6'4", 200 pounds, 75K a year, Audi A4, 2014. James.
Oh, that was it.
No comment. He just wanted us to know his stats. All right.
James is living.
Yeah, we'll at least get you one thing to react to at some point here.
Gabe and Drew, 2021 Toyota Tacoma, $70,000 a year. My dog just passed his therapy dog exam, so congrats to him.
Congrats.
And speaking of therapy, I'm going to need some therapy tonight. The Missouri basketball team, the people on the show, the callers, the Bruning law firm are going to need some therapy from my dog tonight after watching this awful performance by Missouri. I'm not sure what's worse, the lack of people that show up to this game or the quality of play by Missouri basketball. Just not good.
Yeah. There surprisingly were more open seats than Mizzou had turnovers tonight, if you can believe it.
Yeah, I can confirm on TV more than 19 open seats, no doubt. All right, or however.
I'm also glad that guy didn't talk about his dog having a birthday or something.
Yeah, I thought there might be something bad coming.
Hey, gentlemen, I understand Missouri fan base being the whole we're not a bubble team anymore, and I was all for that right now. Earlier today when I looked at the Lenardi stuff and the Ron Steens and all that stuff on Twitter, but after today's game, I'm just confused. I still clearly think we're a tournament team, but I mean, are we looking at another first weekend exit here, and it's going to be the same story with Dennis? And I'm not mad at Dennis because I'm happy. 3 out of 4 tournament appearances is awesome. But I mean, I'm just dying to see the second weekend of the season. All right, thank you guys.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? This doesn't look like a second weekend team to me, but who knows? It's possible. But for those panicking about the tournament, I just looked it up. Joe Lunardi's last team in today was Indiana. Here's what Indiana has done in its last 4 games. Lost to Illinois by 20, lost to Purdue by 29, lost at home to Northwestern by 4, and lost at home to Michigan State by 13. That team is in the tournament right now. The first team out of the tournament right now is Auburn. They have lost 7 of their last 8, and the only win came on a just awful call against Kentucky. They are a bad call away from 8 straight losses, and they're the first team out. It takes more than one bad night to get back to the bubble.
Yeah, I agree with that. And look, you're obviously going to lose hope after a game like this. Like you said, they did not look like a team that can reach the second weekend tonight, right? But if they turn around and go beat Arkansas, I think you're right back on the wagon. So, tonight you're allowed to be a little bit discouraged.
I mean, it literally, I said earlier in the show before you got on, 2 days ago, everybody was talking about how this is his best team, and we're talking about the 3 seed and the Sweet 16 and all that. Like, the emotional roller coaster just ain't healthy, man. Like, we got to even things out a little bit. And boy, Missouri evened them out in a hurry tonight.
For sure.
All right, man.
Hey, Gabe,
well, Drew, appreciate you hanging out
$20
with
an
us for a
hour.
little bit.
Don't have a car, don't need a car.
Don't need a
I've
car?
not been more annoyed at a game this entire season. With Illinois, I wasn't expecting to win. Alabama, same deal. I'm just hoping that they play better when I'm there on Saturday, because this was the worst performance since Illinois. Hey, Gabe. Hey, Drew. $20.
I agree with that. Drew, give me your top 3 annoying games this season to end. Like
top 3 annoying
because
games.
this one's not in my top 3.
It's not? Okay.
No.
Top 3 annoying games. I'm gonna go. LSU was pretty annoying. Ole Miss pretty annoying. And I'll say Georgia too. Georgia was probably pretty annoying. You expected to win that one.
I will go number 1. I will go LSU because LSU was crap, and we knew they were crap, and that you should not have lost that game. Like, Oklahoma's a decent team. Georgia is an NCAA tournament team. Even Ole Miss has AJ Storr and Malik Dia. LSU's just bad. They're the second worst team in this league, and you shouldn't have lost to them. Number 2 is Notre Dame, because Notre Dame's not any good either, and you should have won that game. And number 3 for me is still Illinois, because, like, dude, I drove 2 hours to watch that. That was hideous.
I did drive 7 hours to watch this one, so maybe it should be higher up my list.
If this was higher on your list, I would understand. But all right, man, we're gonna let you roll. I'm gonna finish up the voicemails. Everybody, look, Drew went. Nobody else is going. Drew's going to all these games. He's gonna write a story. Please at least click on it. I don't care if you actually read it, but just click on it and scroll through it so we think you read it.
Yeah, just help me out a little bit.
Push up the metrics, man. We got to help the metrics on Drew.
Yeah.
At the end
Scott
of the season.
Fitz had a super chat if you want to get to it before I go.
Oh, okay. Let's check out Scott Fitz. Is this? I don't know if this is a ceiling. It's a ceiling this year. The question is, if you're listening on the podcast, is Gates ceiling a 7 to 10 seed? I mean, it has been so far.
They were weren't they 6 seed last year?
They were 6 seed last year.
So no.
Yeah.
To answer the question, but
his ceiling is a 6 seed.
I'll say this though, Gabe. Like, I was thinking about it on the drive today. If Mizzou does want to be a team that can contend for like a 4 or a 5 seed, like the schedule has to change, right? They can't compete for like one of those protected seeds without going up against more high majors in the non-conference.
Because you are going to have nights like this. Like, everybody has nights like this. So the only way with Missouri's schedule that this was a 4 or a 5 seed is like if you literally just don't ever lose a game you're not supposed to lose.
Yeah.
And
so no, like 7 to 10 and not the ceiling, but I don't know that the ceiling's a whole lot higher than that.
Yeah, we'll see. It's the ceiling this year. So, all right, man. Have a good one. Hope you get back down and get a bottle of water.
Oh, I actually had one in my backpack. Thankfully, we're good.
Perfect. Good deal. All right, we're gonna let Drew go. I'm gonna finish up the voicemails. So Billy, let's just roll through them and get it done here.
Gabe, this is just. Whew. I was homesick with the flu today. I stayed home all day with the flu, stayed home from work. And for some odd reason, watching this game has me feeling more ill than even this flu does. This game has me wanting to puke. It's just this eyesore, lack of effort. I think with me having a flu, I would have more put forth more energy into playing than these guys have put into the game tonight. Hopefully we can bounce back on Saturday. And heck, I guess there's 7 minutes to go in the game, so maybe they'll still come back at this point, but I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, no, they spoiler alert, guys, they did not come back.
Obviously, this game was super ugly, super frustrating. Nobody should be happy about it. But I remain blown away by the grown ass men who react to a loss of their team like it's a child who's watching sports for the first time. Every bad game has to mean no one has it worse than Mizzou. Dennis can't coach. He'll never succeed. All these existential things. And I just do not understand how there are people in this world who choose to engage in a hobby in this manner.
That's my people right there. He said it much more nicely than I did.
Hello, Gabe and Drew. Thank you both so much for doing the show after this truly atrocious showing by our Tigers. Woof. I turned it off 5 minutes ago, and I don't think I'm going to miss anything. But I did want to say something because I'm sure the majority of the voicemails will be negative this evening. And I want to say that if you would have told me after the Illinois game that I was going to be watching consequential Mizzou basketball at this point in the season, I would be elated, and I probably wouldn't believe you. I told myself then that I would just enjoy whatever positives happened in the rest of the season. And the season has been far more positive than I could have imagined. And so I'm just going to be positive again and hope that they can throw whatever the hell just happened today away and move on and play better Saturday and maybe make a run in the SEC tournament and maybe win a game or two in the NCAA tournament, because that would be a lot of fun. And I love Mizzou basketball, and I hope they keep playing. So, MIZ.
So, I can't tell anybody how to be a fan or how to process it. And I understand everybody does it different ways. But with this team, the only way I see is just, hey, they're going to get in, and I don't know, man, just hope for the best. You hope they win a game, and then you're going to be playing, whether it's Duke or Arizona or Purdue or Iowa State, you're going to be playing a 1 or 2 seed in the second round if you get there. And you just kind of take your shot. They're a decent team. They're not really more than that. But as that call said, it's a lot better than it was a couple months ago. And I get everybody wants more. I'm not telling you that you have to be happy if this is the best it ever gets, but don't just assume this is the best it's ever going to get. Who knows, right? Stuff happens.
Josh, Jefferson County, $100,000 a year, super sweet 2009 Toyota Camry hybrid. About 4 minutes left in this game, and they are exactly what we thought they would do. They no-showed, kind of like I expected. I foresee it not getting much better. Super tall, everybody loves Burns because he's 7'5" and he had a good game, but he is exactly, again, what he did today is what he came back down to earth a little bit. Nobody can hit a shot. 2 point guards are in foul trouble. And they clogged up the middle and made them shoot from outside, and nobody could hit a shot. So I foresee a letdown on Saturday also, unfortunately, and it's not pretty. Hopefully we can get a tournament win. Otherwise, they'll be playing in Dayton, hopefully.
There you go.
What's up, Gabe? What's up, Drew? Obviously, not going to be happy about a loss, but at the same time, we're making the tourney, so how long can I really be upset about it? Our whole game is getting in the paint with Tio and Mark, and they played great defense down there, so they're also shooting 60% from 3. Not much you can really do. At least A-Rob had a decent game. Just get right for Arkansas because I want the double bye. MIZ.
Let's just keep rolling.
I'm not upset because we know this team is super up and down. I just hate when they lose. They just look so bad when they lose. So, but I'm used to it, Hopefully when it matters, they can put it all together. But man, they be looking bad when they lose sometime. Jesus. MIZ.
That's the
Gabe,
best
I
call
saw
so
you were
far.
taking some flack on Twitter about fans expecting us to run the table. I don't expect that, but I do expect them to show up, give some effort, not get embarrassed in front of the 5 fans that were there tonight. That's a coach that's about ready to be fired, and you just got embarrassed. That's just the reality we live in with Dennis Gates. He's a bubble coach, not much else. Also, add the Sean Phillips flagrant one in the first half that sparked that huge run for OU to Drew's highlight reel. And we also got put in a blender by Beans from Even Stevens.
I don't know what that is, but I would say I don't think Porter Moser's getting fired anymore. I would also say if you're going to no-show and look terrible, maybe it's better to do it in front of 14 people. And I can't imagine anybody saw it on TV. Like, if you didn't have to watch that game on TV, I don't know how you could watch it and listen to that broadcast. All right, let's keep going.
Curious what you guys think about Jacob Cruz fall off. So he started the season like putting up like 20 points, 22 points against, bad competition. But I mean, his last month has just been terrible. Curious what you.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit earlier. I mean, I think he's limited, and it's fine if he's the 7th or 8th guy in the rotation. The problem is tonight you've got nothing from 2 through 6. So,
hey guys, it's Ned from Colorado. First time calling, pretty disappointed in the performance tonight. Seemed like there was no fire under the guys tonight. Really just would have been nice to see them come out and even just, play hard. I don't think they played hard. Missing shots is one thing, and Oklahoma making shots is one thing. We can't, really do anything about that. But, it would have been nice to see them have some fire. I thought Gates tried to spark it, really was trying to push that for us. Ant played a good game. Stone played a good game. Excited to see where we go from here. Hopefully Arkansas is a winner. MIZ.
Ant was better in the second half, but I didn't think he was good in the first half, and Jaden Stone didn't have it tonight.
Eat shit, Dennis.
All right. Hopefully the last one's better. We got one more.
Petty's
hopefully
Army
it's a
is
little
a
more
bitch.
productive. It was not more productive. That's what I get for putting faith in the voicemail line. Guys, I don't know. It sucked. Show was average. My effort was below average. Terrible game. Hopefully Saturday will be better. I think I'm just going to start the post-game shows when they lose. I'm just going to quote the caller from a couple minutes ago and say, man, they be looking bad when they lose sometimes. Jesus. That about sums up tonight. That's all we got. I want you to get in touch with the folks at the Bruning Law Firm. Appreciate them for helping us out tonight and helping us out all basketball season long. We are going to have a post-game show after every game the rest of the year. Saturday at Mizzou Arena, 11 a.m. tip-off, Mizzou and Arkansas. Drew and I will be live after that one. Nashville SEC tournament still could start Wednesday, still could start Thursday, still could start Friday. We don't know, but we'll be live after that one, or after all of those, and then we'll be live after the NCAA tournament. They play in the NIT, we're not going live, but I don't think that's a problem. I think they're still a tournament team. Tonight sucked. You move on. You got to get back to life, right? That's what the Bruning Law Firm does. You get knocked down, you get hurt, you get in touch with the Bruning Law Firm. They're going to get you back to your life as quickly and painlessly as they possibly can. They don't get paid until you get paid. You call them at 573-400-2796 for a free consultation. Once again, 573-400-2796. They are going to do their best with all of their data, all of their research to get you back to your life as quickly as they possibly can. Appreciate them sponsoring the show. Reach out to them. Hit the QR code up in the corner if you guys do need legal help. We hope you don't. We hope Saturday's better for you and for me and for Drew and for Dennis Gates. We'll see.